Welcome to the Blonde Bombshell Belief Valentine's Day edition, take 2. Now, honestly, I don't know if there'll be a 3, but in shock, there is a take 2. When I opened up the question and answer, by the way, I've got a boo-boo, everybody, so I was reaching into the candy dish, and I guess God was trying to tell me something, and when I pulled my hand out, it sliced my hand pretty well, so I don't know how well I'm going to do the rest of the evening. Bear with me. But before this happened, I wrote down your questions, so that's a great thing. And don't worry, right now, by the way, I am in my Prisoner of Love costume in honor of Valentine's Day. There was actually a question 22 that just came in, and that'll probably be the first question, if I don't get attached here in my chains, to Dear Bombshell. Do-do-do-do. That's right. Cheap music, great questions, my answers. The question that just came in was, why do men think of women as the old ball and chain still, even through the years? That was the question that just came in. Well, let me answer that for you. I think it's a fear of commitment, a fear of being tied down, or if they're unhappy and they want to start looking around for another relationship and they want to have a reason in their own head, not our heads, because let me tell you, there's never a reason to cheat. Now, some of my guy friends would say, hey, my girl cheated on me, so okay, yes, I believe that, it's not just men that cheat. Yes, sometimes you women out there aren't faithful too, but speaking from experience, I really think that men are scared of commitment, and it just makes them run. So I would go with that. Now, we have 22 other questions, and we've got to get through all of them so I can sing with you all tonight. And yes, I did take some new photos. Those will be posted to Facebook later. Okay, Dear Bombshell, what dating website should I use to find love? And what should my first message say to my special someone? Well, there's so many dating apps out there. There's Meet Me, there's POF, Scoot, I think that's the way they say that. And then, of course, you have the paying ones, like eHarmony and all those. I would say there's no real great website to meet someone, because just when you think you found that someone, they run off. At least, again, that's my experience. What should your first message say to someone? You want to make it more you. So speak something like, hi, how are you? Or, something you would normally say, but do something that would fit you. Don't be someone that you're not. Dear Bombshell, what online shops do you recommend? In your previous video, you mentioned that you were blessed with a Vermont teddy bear, and you were almost blessed with a pajamagram. What else is out there is available? Help us, guys. Valentine's Day is around the corner. Great question. I would say look at Sherry's Berries, edible arrangements, of course, pajamagram and Vermont teddy bear. But it doesn't have to be an online shop. But if you shop early enough, you can maybe get some deals at these, maybe 1-800-Flowers, Just look around, Google some things, but let it be a gift from your own heart and not something that I would give someone. I don't want to, okay, making these videos, I'm hoping I'm helping you find suggestions, but I want you to do it your way. I don't want you to do it my way, because it doesn't come from the heart that way. Every Valentine's Day gift should be an expression of you. Remember that. Dear Bombshell, please give me some suggestions, because my first date is on Valentine's Day, and I want to make it memorable. Well, I would say It depends on how long you've been talking with the party that you're going to have your first date with. If there's something that would be funny as an icebreaker, that's what you want to do. Nothing too serious, just a nice, funny, hi, this is something to remind you of me every time you have it. Let's see here. Dear Bombshell, I'm scared I'm losing my man to a mutual friend. I love him very much, but I want to stay in love with him. I know that I can't make him stay, but can I plan the perfect Valentine's Day that might change his mind? Oh boy. Now, Mr. Park, he was a big flirt. And there was, I thought that I was losing him to a Facebook friend and a coworker at the time. I ended up losing him to a coworker who I trusted, who I thought was on the same page as me, but ended up being on her own page and using everything that I told her to her advantage. So, you know, it's a matter of, can you trust? Can you, if you're already losing him to a mutual friend and you know it and you feel it, what I can say to you is sit down and communicate. And whether it be Valentine's Day or before Valentine's Day, it's better to have the truth so you can have closure than not having anything. Remember that. Dear Bombshell, do you believe in love at first sight? I believe in lust at first sight, yes. Love at first sight, no. And I'll tell you why. You can love something you eat. You can love something that you read. You can love something immaterial. But to really know the person, to know what makes them tick, to know their favorite song, their favorite color, no, I don't believe in love at first sight. I used to, but not anymore. Dear Bombshell, I don't handle commitment well, but I know she is the right girl. She's been hurt a lot, and I'm waiting to tell her on Valentine's Day. Do you think it's wise? And if so, why? And if not, why? If you can't handle commitment well, but you know she's the right girl, my question to you is, do you plan to stay with her? A. And you know she's been hurt a lot. So do you plan on hurting her since you have that fear of commitment? If you plan on staying with her, then definitely tell her that, you know, you're not going to leave her. She's your only one. But if you have a long-term plan of hurting this girl's heart, breaking it in two, do her and you both a favor. Cut bait and run. Dear Bombshell, I'm single. How do I not get depressed about not having a Valentine? I watched this movie on Hallmark tonight, which was before the Walk the Dog movie. I can't think the name of it, but I will tell you this. The ending was really great, and she was a Valentine's Day blogger, and it was kind of like a You've Got Mail thing. She didn't realize that the guy that she's blogging with was the guy that she had been dating. But anyway, I would say be grateful for what you have. Your health, you have a job, you have your friends, you have your family, you have your animals, you have your love of life. And you have to love your life before you are able to share your life. So that is what I would say for your Valentine's Day. Dear Bombshell, if I feel a connection on the first date, intimate connection, should I spend that night with my Valentine? I am very old school, very old fashioned, and if there is no ring on this finger, you do not need to be spending a night. That's all I'm going to say to that. Dear Bombshell, describe a simple gesture that I can do on a first date to show her that she matters to me a lot. And yes, the first date is on Valentine's Day. Aw, you guys are so good tonight. See, I told everybody on Facebook it was hard not to laugh and not to cry at these questions, which is amazing. I love them. Thank you. I would say you could open her door. You could pull her chair out so she could sit down. You could hold her hand, gaze into her eyes. But most of all, just be yourself. My questions are sticking together. I should have cut these little edges off. Dear Bombshell, my gal says I need to be more spontaneous. Here's the problem. She complains about when I do surprise her. I want to plan a Valentine's Day that she'll never forget. Do I give her the gift of mystery of what I want to plan for her, or should I give her the same old standard of flowers and a teddy bear and a box of chocolates? What should I do? Well, first, it's great that you remembered Valentine's Day. Secondly, it's one of those control freak things. Like, I'm a control freak, and it's great that you want to surprise, but no. In life, surprises never go well, okay? Unless it's sort of like one of those gender reveal things when you're revealing your kid, that if you're going to have a boy or girl. Other than that, you don't need to. No, I would say the standard is great. Why think outside the box? Don't scare the poor girl. Give her the standard. Also, she may think that you're cheating. My grandpa brought this up. He said tonight, you know, if I buy your grandma something for Valentine's Day, she's going to think that I've been doing something I shouldn't have been doing. So think about that too. Dear Bombshell, my girl is like you. She loves country music. And I love country music, so it's a mutual thing we have in common. But my question is, I found out a concert she wants to attend is nearby. It's not on Valentine's Day, but would it be okay to buy tickets for in the future of the concert date and give it to her for Valentine's Day? Absolutely. Now that is an excellent gift. If you both enjoy that kind of music, you enjoy that kind of performer, go for it. Dear Bombshell, my man made a comment on how hot I would be if I would have eye surgery. I asked him what was wrong with me. Was he ashamed of me? He said he wasn't. However, if I don't have the surgery, would he leave me for a girl who doesn't wear glasses? Oh boy, it's that old what if. And the only one that can answer this, and this is the God's honest truth, is him. What you need to do is sit down and say, okay, let's have a heart-to-heart. If I don't have the surgery, would you leave me for another girl? Or is there another girl that you have in mind who wears glasses? Or why the questions of all of a sudden, out of the blue, are you concerned about this? Just sit down and do a heart-to-heart. Dear Bombshell, should I send my Valentine gift to her workplace? What do you think? Here's what I think. Think about all the girls at her workplace who probably will not be receiving a Valentine's Day gift. A public show of affection, which is just for one day of a year, should be more private, should be more intimate. It should be between the two of you. After all, you're celebrating your love for each other, not your love for her and all of her co-workers. And Valentine's Day is a day of intimacy. It should not be a day that you want to romance her co-workers. Just no. Dear Bombshell, this one's kind of funny. I'm a dipper. I'm trying to quit, but my girl, she's a smoker. She complains about my dipping, but I never get to complain about her smoking. What should I do? Sit down and communicate. I could tell you that you have a right to be mad, and then this would start drama. Sit down and talk to her. That's all I can tell you. Dear Bombshell, I met my love online. We scheduled our first date on Valentine's Day. Here's what my question is. What if we connected online, but I screw it up in person? I think that's a fear for everyone. That when you meet online, you'll have that, if you'll hit it way off the bat, and then when you meet in person, something goes wrong. But if it's the same person you've been talking to online, you meet that same person in real life, and you keep the conversation the same, you shouldn't have a problem. Most of all, speak from the heart. I can't say that enough. Your heart should do the speaking. When it comes to love, the head should be left behind the heart. Dear Bombshell, my idea is to save on Valentine's Day. Last year I didn't have a Valentine's Day, and so I have a gift that I didn't give my Valentine last year. Is it okay to regift? Oh boy. Is it the same person that you had last year for a Valentine? A. B. It's just going to waste in your basement, so I hope that if it is the same person, that it's not rotting away. So use your own judgment. Dear Bombshell, my Valentine turned me down. Well, kinda. My Valentine said maybe. So it's not an official no yet. How can I make that no a guaranteed yes? Let me help you out here, guys. If us girls say the word maybe, you have a 50-50 chance here to change our mind to a yes. What you need to do is pull out the romance card. A card that says thinking of you. A just simple gesture to show that she matters and you want this to be a yes. Maybe a single rose. Maybe a dollar teddy bear. Something that you both enjoy. Let me take that back. Something that would be cheap, inexpensive, but yet shows that she matters to you, so you want to be with her on Valentine's Day. That's what you should do. Dear Bombshell, my girl keeps talking about losing weight. Planet Fitness is coming to Mattoon. I think this is a perfect way for us to be together. Should I get her a membership for Valentine's Day? Ooh boy. It's great that Planet Fitness is coming to town, but myself, since this is my night off from the workout, I will tell you that we all have our own ways to work out. If she's already involved in a workout plan, I always advise, talk to your doctor before you start a regimental workout. A, it's got to be safe for your body. B, Valentine's Day to me is not the time to buy a membership to Planet Fitness. Not even a joint membership. You know, if you buy one for yourself, you're going to buy one for her. No. Just keep it light. And remember, the holiday is not about giving fitness gifts. Dear Bombshell, being on a restricted diet, I want him to respect my decision. Should I ditch him if he doesn't? I know your situation. I would say if he does not respect that you have health reasons, that you cannot eat the hamburger and fries that he's eating, then yes. Dear Bombshell, is it smart to be prepared even though I don't have a Valentine's Day, but I do have a wish? And what if it comes true? Oh, goodness. Well, we all have wishes in life. And let me tell you, I've learned from painful experiences, rarely do they ever come true. It's always best to be prepared, but don't be over-prepared. And the final question of Dear Bombshell. Dear Bombshell, you are a hopeless romantic. Describe your idea of a romantic Valentine's Day. If my Valentine's Day wish came true, it would be with Mr. CB. At this point in life, I've had 3 chances at love. I had Mr. 8.5 years, I had Mr. Park, I had Mr. CB. My wish would be for Mr. CB and I to actually go out to dinner, talk, and then come back, watch SmackDown, and maybe work out together, and then he would go home. But the idea of that actually happening probably won't happen. My life never works out that way. And I'm beginning to think more and more about adoption and IVF, because I've had my 3 chances at love. My heart is not open for any more breaks, and I do want to be a mother. And that's where I'm at in life. It's great to be a hopeless romantic, but the best part of the book is when there's never an ending. The best part of the movie is when there's never an ending. And when there was an ending that happened that you don't really know why it even happened, and you would love to have more of what you had before there was an ending, then why start another relationship? Because one thing you never should do is have a relationship with 3 people. The memory of the past, the present, which is your newest person, and yourself. Because if that's not a relationship, that's cheating the person that you're with out of a relationship. Yes, I'm on these dating sites hoping and praying, really not to find someone else, but hopefully for him to come to his senses and give me another chance. Whether that ever happens at this point is up to God and him. But at this point, I don't see love happening. I am trying to focus on doing a jingle for Folgers and songwriting, the $25,000. I don't think IVF is going to be in the cards for me because of my PCOS, but adoption is definitely in the cards. I want to look heavy at that. My big birthday this year, I don't want anything except one thing, and that's to go horse riding at the Coyote Stables in Siegel, Illinois. That's it. I feel like I've had my chances at love, and they haven't worked out. And I do want to be a mom, but I may have to go adopt instead of anything else. And there's nothing wrong with adoption. But I just don't know at this point. Stay tuned. As for... Let's change subject so I'm not going to cry. Grandma's still working on her wheelchair. Nothing is definite there. As for Grandpa, he had a spinal shot. He's doing fine now. I shouldn't say doing fine. He's got improved situation. We hope that it stays that way for a long time. I don't want him lifting the wheelchair ever that we have now on borrowed from the VFW. Yeah, we borrowed another wheelchair. I want him to be able to keep his movement he's got. I want him to stay very active for as long as he can. So I'm hoping that the lightweight wheelchair that Dr. Michael wanted Grandma to have comes through this week. And everybody says, well, how can you stay so positive when you haven't had a very happy Valentine's Day in a long, long time? You've got to be grateful for what you have. I can't say that enough. It's not what you don't have, it's what you have that you celebrate. And I may not have a Valentine, but I have a family, I have friends, I have my work, I have my health, which is a major improvement, right? And I'm going to be working on that jingle, and turn everything else over to God. But right now, we're going to get happy. You stay tuned. We're going to sing for you next. Me, myself, and I, the Blonde Bombshell.